Mr. City Manager, this is your moment. We got a lot of dignitaries in the room that want to say farewell to you and thank you for your service that you've given this community. We already got tears happening. So before I go down the list and have folks come up and present to you, I want to honor, besides just you, the most important person, which is your wife, Annie. And she's in the crowd tonight, and she's put up with all of us, keeping this man late hours and creating policy in this community. So, you know, we're thankful to you. And it's going to be a tough night for us. I mean, when you look at government and you look at local government, a lot of times city managers leave during conflict, and this is not the case here in Canyon Lake. We're excited for your adventure, but we're going to get to the council comments. But to start us off, we have our supervisor, Karen Spiegel. She's going to be presenting a certificate. So, Supervisor, you get to lead the charge tonight and watch people start to cry, especially staff here in Canyon Lake. So, welcome.
You know, we have a city manager, and they usually last 3 to 5 years. That's the standard, and you fit right in there. But normally, the list of contributions, the footprint and legacy that you left is a little bit more robust than most city managers in such a short time. I ended up doing a proclamation, and it is full. You know, when you talk about a city manager, when they're hired, they're always hired for the right reason. They're the perfect person at the time. And as you grew, and the city grew, and this list of, you know, going from 4 full-time employees to 23 and 3 part-time, that's over just not quite even 4 years. That's incredible growth. And I all these things, I mean, the fires, you know, the fire department, and some of the programs and the community events that were begun under your leadership. And I'm going to save it for everybody else to share, but I think the most important thing is that when you leave, wherever we are, we want to be remembered for the good things. Not all city managers have that opportunity, as we know.
It's true. It's true.
And to have such positive legacy that in such a short time is admirable. I don't know how you convinced them. I've known you for a long time. I was surprised. Is this Chris Mann? But seriously, I wish you a lot of success. I wish you a lot of more positive things that you're going to continue to do. You're still a young man. You got a few more years in you. So keep informed and keep us in date what's going on, because this is really impressive. And I just say, Canyon Lake, you're losing a great man. And it's going to be hard shoes to fill, but I'm sure the next person has that door open and ready to walk in. So thank you, Chris, for your service.
All right, next we have EVMWD, and of course, Darcy Burke is here along with Greg Thomas. They're going to be presenting also a proclamation to Chris.
Thank you, Mayor, and to Chris. I think I'm going to echo a lot of what Supervisor Spiegel said. You know, you've been here a short period of time, and I do want to say your hair got a little grayer in that process, but we'll blame it on the,
yes.
the council. So
At least he has hair, right? Just kidding.
I
Got to defend him. Come on, it's his night. It's his night.
Full head of hair 3.5 years ago. So, no, we just have a certificate of appreciation, Chris, on behalf of the board and the staff at EVMWD. You know, you've done a lot of things in a short period of time. And I think your professionalism, your ability to work with a lot of people have been, I think, a hallmark of that. I think from our standpoint, too, the communications is so important. And you were really able to break down a lot of the walls between the three, you know, the city, POA, and us. And it definitely, I appreciated your professional and personal relationships, abilities to pick up the phone, talk about any issues, always professional, always working towards positive solutions versus, you know, other things. And so that aspect will be missed with that. And so, and we appreciate everything
Well
you've
said.
done for us. So.
All right, next we have WRCOG Deputy Executive Director Chris Gray. Oh, perfect. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Absolutely, my pleasure. I want to, just for the benefit of everyone here, the city council knows this, but you ask your city manager to do a lot. One of the things is ask them to be active in regional agencies. We have staff level committees, we bring issues forward. Everything that's brought to our elected representatives at WRCOG goes to the city managers first. And so I want to compliment Chris. He did an excellent job of representing the city. He was a tireless advocate for the city. He participated in all of his meetings. And let me tell you all a story about Chris. We had to go to remote meetings because of COVID, but Chris wanted to show up in person. A couple times, he actually came to our office, and he was the only city manager out of all Western Riverside County who showed up at our office. But we're going to miss Chris. He's been a tireless advocate for the city, an active member in our committees. He has represented the city, he has represented Canyon Lake with every fiber of his being, and we are truly going to miss him. And so we have prepared a certificate thanking him for his service to the region, and I appreciate the opportunity to share this with you all.
Love it. I'm sure there's more to that story, right, Chris? All right, next we have representatives from Senator Ciarto and Assemblyman Saley's office, I believe. Perfect. Is this a joint resolution?
It is.
California's budget cuts, right at its finest, right here. We get to view it.
I'm here on behalf of State Senator Ciarto, presenting you this certificate, commending you on your service to this city. What you've done here is foster this community into this thriving city that we see today. And what you've also done here is build a great foundation for this community to thrive on. And I just want to commend you on how an awesome job you've done with where we are today.
And on behalf of Assemblyman Bill Asaley, we would just like to thank you for everything that you've done for this city. We know it's going to be left in great hands, and you've like to reiterate a great foundation, and we're just excited to see what you do in the future.
Next, we have our captain is in the house from the Sheriff's Department. Our beloved Captain
Yes.
Rails.
Chris, what can I say? We've had, almost 3 years now of working together. You've been an awesome partner. I've learned a lot from you. You have a great understanding of public safety, and you have a down-to-earth look at, problems and issues that we have to deal with, and your understanding is just up here compared to a lot of people. So I'm going to miss you, definitely. I have a commendation from Sheriff Bianco. He couldn't make it. He's out of town today. But some of the same sentiments. Your unwavering dedication and support to public safety has been instrumental in making the city of Canyon Lake a desirable location to live. The time you served as city manager, you were a true partner with the Riverside County Sheriff's Office. And under your tenure, the city of Canyon Lake remained one of the safest cities to live in Riverside County. And that is true, because look at how much safer it is now than when we first started together. No fatal traffic accidents. We took care of that issue on Railroad Canyon. Crime's down, and it's a lot of that's thanks to you and your understanding, but I appreciate it.
All right, let the waterworks begin now. The next one's our fire chief. And for those of you that are joining us, the chief and Chris worked extremely close during COVID to try to start a fire department. Some would say they're crazy, but I know their relationship is quite deep. So, Chief, the floor is yours. Good luck, my friend.
Thank you. Chris, boss, friend. We started this journey almost 3 years ago. And it's the council that gave him the direction to initiate and organize and start up a fire department. But once he had that direction, there was no stopping him. And I was honored to be hired as the interim fire chief to help put the pieces together, working with city staff. And everything that we asked for, you gave us. And we are grateful. And then you gave me the honor of making me the fire chief. And I thank you for that. We just had our first birthday, and it was pretty amazing what we've done in a year. under your leadership, under the council's direction, and with the support of city staff and the community. It's kind of a tradition in the fire service when a person leaves the organization, you give them their helmet. So we got Chris his own chief's helmet that says, City of Canyon Lake Fire Department, City Manager Chris Mann, established January 1st, 2022.
That's cool.
Thank you for your support.
That's cool. Awesome. Yes. So the last in-person is going to be our Canyon Lake Properties Owners Association. I believe the president's in the house. Renee, perfect. Oh, perfect. Greg's here too.
I don't want to get fingerprints on it. I just wanted to, or on behalf of the POA, thank you for everything that you've done. And when the announcement came out and I saw the resume of all that you have accomplished, it was incredibly impressive. Thank you as a citizen from taking the city from an $800,000 deficit to a $400,000 surplus in a very short period of time. I'm very grateful for that. And then I was super excited, especially because you're going to where you live. And as we chatted about that, just the thought of you being able to skip out for a quick moment and watch your son have a baseball game or any little thing, you can be right there. And that is monumental for the family and for future kids and whatever may have. I mean, now you got fire helmets, I'm just saying. So we'd like to present you with this certificate of appreciation. And just know that we treasure everything that you have done for the city. Thank you for an amazing fire department. Thank you for hiring Chief Latendress. He is fantastic and has made an amazing crew that takes care of us. And that's all because of everything that you put forward. So thank you for that. Do you have anything else? Or?
Thank you. All right. Also, Mr. City Manager, we had certificates from Congressman Ken Calvert, the City of Temecula, the City of Wildemar, PERMA, which I know you've had very big involvement with, and then also the City of Marietta. But now I believe it's our turn. So we have a plaque that we want to present to you, but I'm going to mix it up, and the clerk's going to look at me because I always do this. Instead of presenting the plaque, we're going to say some nice things about you. And I'm going to let the ladies go first. So, Councilwoman Casey Castillo, will you do us the honor?
Sure. I remember when you started, and it was a great day. It was a breath of fresh air, to be honest. I'm grateful for your professionalism, your humor, the progress that we've made in Canyon Lake. I'm grateful for access to you. I know I've called you late at night many times, and that's not in your job description at all, but you always answered the phone for me, and I appreciate that. The list of accomplishments is staggering. I'm so proud to have been one of the people who signed on as, yes, let's hire that guy. He has promise, and you sure fulfilled those promises as far as I'm concerned. I'm also grateful for your creativity. You've never told me no. You've just said, well, we have to figure out how to do that. So I'm thankful for that because you supported our vision. And if I can say anything to our next city manager, I hope that that trend keeps going because as far as I'm concerned, that was one of your strongest qualities. And I wish you the best of success. You're going to have a great time in Yucaipa, and they're lucky to have you.
Jennifer?
Me. I appreciate how much you've helped me in getting started. And for someone coming into this council that knew nothing, you always answered every question I had, always helped, always had good suggestions, good instruction when I had questions. And I just appreciate you, and we're going to miss you.
Mr. Terry?
Well, I think you're leaving just in time. because I know I was wearing on you. The graciousness that you showed Councilmember Dane, I know I was starting to see a little bit of a difference in that, but I'm going to go back. I've been a resident here for 22 years. You changed the city. What I appreciate about you most, there are times that he looks at us and he goes, that's not the right thing to do. He then will advise us on what perhaps he thinks we should do. But his best attribute is he gives us the freedom to move in the direction that we feel as a council that we want to move in. At that point, he's no longer your advisor. He's now the pathway to the vision that we have or the direction that we want to take. I know that's got to be difficult, but it has been an asset to this council, and it has been an asset to the residents of Canyon Lake. I appreciate everything that you've done, not only as a council member, but I appreciate the fact that you saved our city. It means the world to me, means the world to my family.
Mayor Pro Tem?
You were my first city manager with developed this relationship with. I just was really blessed by that, to be able to come and learn from you and help us, guide us. And I have to give it to a city manager. You know, part of their job is to manage the council. And to me, it's like herding cats. You know, as I watch he skillfully herded us around and not taking anything from the mayor, mind you, because he's doing a great job. But well, Greg, you're out there. You understand a little bit about and his ability to nurture us and nudge us in the same direction, even though we're all wandering off, has really been amazing. And we have a great council. We communicate well. We respect each other, and a lot of that comes from the city council. It comes from our city manager and his ability to keep us all focused on the mission, keep us all dedicated to what we're trying to do, which is to make Canyon Lake a great place. And the other thing I shared is that I have an older son and he has a baby son. So I got to, we talked a lot about the journey of being a father, and he actually asked me some questions because, I have to admit, I've never been the best father, but I have done it once or twice. So at least I have experience, maybe not the best skills, but we talked a lot about that. And when he announced he was leaving, I didn't want him to go, and I'm thinking, what can I bring to the table? What can we bring to the table? How can we talk him out of it? But you couldn't talk him out of the time with his family. And I didn't even go. I just said, we can't beat that. So just wanted to give it to you. Anyway, thank you. We're going to miss you. Thank you.
Oh, man, this is tough. What's fun about governing in a small city is you get to be creative. And, the stuff that we tried to throw on walls in that closed session room, the fact that it stick blows my mind. And I think because of your creativity, like, Mr. Terry said, you saved the city. And you should be proud of that hard work. You should be proud of the leadership that you brought to the seat. And I'm going to miss our 7 a.m. phone calls because I knew Chris was always driving in at 7 a.m. and I could call him, and he had to take the call because no one else is gonna bother him at 7 a.m. but me. It was when I called you on Saturday morning when it got weird, because you would remind me that this is now the weekend, Jeremy. Are you sure that you're trying to call me? But we developed a friendship. We have developed a sense of need and want to do better with public service, and I think I learned that from you. I just appreciate you. I know you're going to do phenomenal things in your next chapter. You're not going to have as good as council as this one. I've called all of them, so I know, by the way. But I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. The quick story is when we got elected, Casey and myself, we opened up the books to City Hall and we found out that it was a disaster. And so the first thing that had to go, unfortunately, was the person in your seat. And now we said, what are we going to do now? We're screwed. We don't have a city manager. And Larry Green and I, we interviewed, quite a few people, and you came to us, and you killed it. You knocked it out of the socks. You were the only candidate that came forward with real life solutions on how to fix problems that A, we had, but B, that we didn't have. And I know that skill set's very unique in government, and I honor it, and I appreciate you. And best of luck, brother. We're going to miss you. We're going to miss you. We're going to call you still, 7 a.m. Better ready. With that, I'm going to see if the staff has anything to say without too many tears. Right, Anna? Anyone? You don't want to bridge the mic, I understand. Anna, I'm going to force you to.
Yeah, I'll say something. So I remember Chris's first day, similarly to Councilmember Castillo, but I remember it a little differently. It was a good day. I'm not going to say it was a good day, but from the staff level, we were all a little nervous. We had never heard of Chris before. We just had no idea. You know, change is a scary thing for all of us, and so we were nervous. And we were a small staff back then, and you just came in and you fit right in. We were a little family, and I think, you know, we still are a family, and you've just embraced that, and you've been such a great part of our family, and we're just so proud of you. You've done so amazing for Canyon Lake, and we're just so proud of you, so I'm really excited for you. Ukaipa's lucky to have you, and we love you.
There's the tears that we were looking for. Mr. City Manager, floor is yours.
I'm not going to get through this without crying. You know, when I first came here 4 years ago, it was a life-changing experience for me. This city taking a flyer on a guy that had never been a city manager, but that had been a lifelong career goal for. I will ever be so grateful and thankful for this city and for each one of you. It's changed my life. A lot's happened in my life since I started here, professionally and personally. I started in March of 2019. In April, Annie and I got married. We got married and went on our honeymoon.
I don't know how you convinced her to do that.
I always joke with her. I
Yes.
say, you know, I really like it when she goes out in public with me, because I figure people must be looking at us and thinking, he must be rich.
Yeah. It's the best. It's the best line. I love it. I will try to break the tears this whole time, so.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, that following September, we bought and moved into our dream house. 2 years ago, last month, we had our first child together, Liam. So that's such a blessing. And through it all, this has been like one big family. I've also put on about 30 pounds and have a lot more gray hair than I did before. But Canyon Lake really is special. This community is amazing. This community embraced me. I want to thank all of you for that. Not that we all get along on every topic. Sometimes it's like quarreling siblings, you know. But at the end of the day, we all have the same goal, which is to make this community the best it could be. And the people in this community are just so warm-hearted and community-focused and generous. And you've all been generous with me. I think about the journey we've been on together, and it's been just jam-packed with things we've done, programs we've started. It's been mentioned that, you know, when I started, there were 4 staff members here and four full-time staff members. And now we've grown to 23 full-time staff members and 3 part-time staff members. And it hasn't been growth for the sake of growth. It's because we've been starting programs that have improved quality of life here in Canyon Lake and changed Canyon Lake. And, you know, the budget being turned around and the fire department and this staff. It has been such a hard decision for me to leave. But as was mentioned, the only reason is because I gained 2 hours a day back out of my life that I can spend with my family now. I wouldn't be leaving otherwise. And I want to thank each and every one of you. I want to thank this council. I want to thank the community. I want to thank my wife, Annie, for putting up with, you know, late nights and, you know, weekend phone calls. And sometimes we just have a half an hour at the end of the night to sit down and watch TV, and then the phone rings, you know.
Sorry.
And I want to thank the staff. You have an amazing staff. As much as we've grown, it's still a lean operation, and every one of the members of this staff works so hard and wear multiple hats. You know, to a person, we have the right team in place here, and Mike and Anna, I mean, we've kind of been like the Three Musketeers over the last 4 years, and I'm really going to miss you guys. I'm going to miss you, Mike. And Corey's been a phenomenal addition to the team, and just fit right in like he's been here all along, and is just exactly what we need in the future of this city. And I got to say, Stephen here, I tell him he's really more than just a city attorney. He's kind of like a consigliere, you know. I really feel like half the
Is that an Italian joke?
I feel like half the things I call him on aren't technically legal questions, but he's wise beyond his years, and a lot of the things we've done here over the past 4 years would not have happened without Stephen's creativity, without his willingness to say, yeah, I don't know, I mean, I see where you're trying to go. Let's see how we can get there. And the city's blessed to have Stephen. With the fire department, you know, we started out on a path that was risky. And as this council has done many times in the past, you were willing to make hard decisions that were not always 100% popular, that had the potential to be highly controversial and could have ended badly, you know. We didn't go into it thinking it would end badly. We did a lot of research, and we felt very strongly it would go well. But it would not have gone well had we not found Chief Latendresse. I just thank God that we found the right man for the right job. And this fire department has really become the pride of this community, a professional highlight for me that I don't know that I'll ever top. And so much of it is because of the work Chief Latendresse has done. And I have so much respect for you, Chief. And thank you for making this successful and for making me look good, which is hard to do. I feel like I'm leaving home. I remember when my contract was being negotiated. I came into the office for the first time, and the council was down here, and I was standing out in the hall, and it was Stephen's first meeting here. He was the backup for our city attorney at that point, but he was sent to negotiate my contract because our city attorney at the time couldn't make it that night. So he came out in the hall and he said, let's go up to the city manager's office. And he was going back and forth negotiating, and we walked upstairs and we walked into the office, and I said, I thought you said we were going to the city manager's office. And I just had no concept of the scope of the organization and the extent of what we were walking into and what had to be fixed here. And the whole organization is different because of the hard work of this council and the work we've done together. And this is hard for me, but I will always have a soft spot in my heart and love for the city of Cannon Lake, for each one of you. And just thank you so much.
Thank you. With that, I'm going to call for a 5-minute recess. The time is 7:13.